So for Black Friday, I decided to go out to a local video game store, and I did more than just buy video games. I actually ran into a good buddy of mine. I found some amazing deals, and I was able to get a bunch of games for free. So this place, Play Raven, if you're ever in Eldersburg, Maryland, you do not want to miss out. Not only do they have tons of great games, they also have so many cool displays and just odds and ends at this video game store. I always find some of the craziest stuff, and I definitely added to my Nintendo collection. So let's go ahead and see what I scored. So I'm out here and I just ran into
The video game voter. What's up, people?
Yeah, so this is crazy. I'm just out here shopping on Black Friday, and you know, I see you're going for a Nintendo DS. So
Yep.
what cool things did you find at the store?
So these things are interesting. You don't see these things often. This is a Zelda Phantom Hourglass Essentials kit. It's got like a pen and some cool headphones from back in the day, the ones that clip over your ears, and then you got this Nintendo DS headset, which is pretty cool. You don't see these things often, and then they're sealed, so it's awesome to see.
Yeah, it's like these blister packs too. Like, it's just crazy because then it says compatible with Pokemon Diamond and Pearl. So like that was probably something that everyone wanted,
Right.
you know, back in the day. So it's crazy to see these still sealed and just, you know, like the colors drawn me into this. And then you just see like, you know, the logo and everything. So this was highly branded. I'm sure that a Zelda fan would definitely, you know, want this in their collection.
Definitely.
So of course I see all of these Tiger electronic handhelds right here. We have Primal Rage, Mortal Kombat. These are just really awesome. Probably some of my favorites here, just because it's like so nostalgic. We have Captain Planet. You know, I always get that song stuck in my head. There's just a lot of cool ones. Altered Beasts. That's another classic right there. You know, of course you have Sonic, you have some others. And then this one right here is one that I didn't even know existed. We have this Dragon Ball Z, and this is kind of like a dual one. And then you have like this like little screen that just pops out. But it's just so cool looking. So these are just neat little additions here. Definitely a couple that I will have to be on the lookout now. So I'll have to make sure that I don't have them. So for the sale that they were running, it was buy one, get one free on select games, and then some of them were like buy one, get one 50% off. So you definitely walked away with some amazing deals at this place. And of course, right away, I ran into my buddy, Video Game Votery. We had such a blast catching up, just seeing what we were looking for, you know, for each other's collections. And it was just really cool seeing some of like the weird little oddities at this location. So I'm definitely pumped because I was able to add tons of GameCube games. This one right here, we have Sega Soccer Slam. This one is such a fun one, and it's a little bit different than what I originally expected. So they kind of have like their own original characters in this game. It's not really like Sega favorite characters, but I love how there are different modes. You have like Brawl, and then you have these hot potato like mini games in here. Kind of like your 3-on-3 soccer, like arcade style. It's just a really fun one, and you just go around and you get to like beat up your opponents, crush, stomp, pummel. It has like all this like crazy stuff in this game, and you get to like win money and you just unlock a little bit more. It's very unique, and these characters that are super original. So this one I'm definitely pumped to play a little bit more and just kind of see what fun I can have with it. Next up, I scored Tony Hawk Pro Skater 3. This is by far one of my favorite games. I love the Tony Hawk Pro Skater series. I love pretty much all of these games, but number 3 really like stood out because they took it a step further than of course 1 and 2. But this was so much fun. You have like Tony Hawk, you had like 13 characters that you could start with. Of course you get to unlock several as you're going around. I love how you get to like edit and see your tricks in the main menu. I love the airport. That one like stood out so much. I love the different stat tokens that you get to collect. The Create a Skater is always a fun time. The cruise ship that you get to unlock. There's just so many different levels and so much that stands out. I can just play this all the time, have a blast, and, you know, just pick up with all of these classic favorite songs of mine. And when I hear them still to this day, I try and remember which Tony Hawk game they were in. So this one has so much nostalgia for me. So glad that I got it back, and I'll have to play it, give it a playthrough again. And it would be really cool to see a Tony Hawk Pro Skater 3 and 4 come out as like a remaster. So this is a really cool like promotional piece, like a little backpack that just has the PlayStation branding on it. I've never seen one of these before, but this definitely drew my attention. It's pretty cool looking. Not really too sure what year or anything that this is, but looks pretty neat. So it's really cool to see these like vintage calendars, because most of these get trashed, but this one's from 1993. This superhero calendar, and we have Marvel. Then we also have this one from 1994, and this one's a superhero and supervillain calendar. So this one probably has some really cool art in here. So it's just really neat to see, you know, this like classic art style. And then of course they have like the comics and stuff that, you know, go along with it. But like, look at that, the Amazing Spider-Man versus Venom. That's just really cool looking. And then this one, that one's really cool too. I actually have a couple different variants of this collector's comic. So these are just really neat to see, just nice little throwbacks here. This one was also a fun one. So not only was this very similar to Tony Hawk, this right here is aggressive inline. So it's inline skates, and you know, you kind of have a little bit less of like the different tricks that you can do as opposed to on a skateboard, but they really did a lot with it, because you know, you're doing like these different spine transfers, which is before Tony Hawk Pro Skater did them. And you get better as you play. And so instead of like collecting these different stat points, you just get better as you're playing through. It's so much fun, and it kind of resembles that same style, that same like, you know, in-your-face action that I definitely remember. And I had this on the PS2. I got it at a yard sale back in the day, and I remember playing through this one and being just as excited to play it. So this one will always hold a little place in my heart, just because it really reminds me of that time and that era. Now this game, on the other hand, Aquaman, this one's not really a good game. So of course, with every other, you know, like superhero and different characters like that, you know, they're trying to all earn their own name, earn their own place. So you pretty much are swimming around and you fight, but it's really not that good. I feel like the presentation and the style just didn't really stand out. It wasn't one that, you know, held over the top. So this is one that I probably won't play too much more, just because it does have a lot of bad with it, and there are so many other great games that I would rather choose instead of that one. Then on to Harry Potter. So I don't actually have all of these games. I've played a handful of them. Some of them aren't too bad, but this one is, of course, like modeled after like the movie, the book. So you'll see a little bit more with like the book in this. And the cool thing is it actually came with a free ticket to go see the movie. And that ticket is actually in here. So they never actually used it. It says it expires December 31st, 2005. I just love these like little extras. You know, that was like a way to entice people to buy the game so that they get to go see the movie. And the one, you know, movie ticket's still actually in here, so that's really cool. But there is a lot going on in these games, and they can be super nostalgic, super fun, especially if you love the whole series. Now, I did actually find one Super Nintendo game that I needed for the set. It's getting a little bit harder to find some of these. So here we have Ultima Runes of Virtue 2. So anytime that they port these games over, whether it be from like the computer or something else, it's just not the best when they bring them to certain consoles. So this one, I could see maybe if you played it back in the day, but I felt like they really dropped the ball with a lot of these games, and they could have did so much better. So this is one that I just don't really see me playing this particular game. Maybe I'll give it a little bit of a try through again, but just from what I've seen already, I'm not too impressed. And there are so many other titles that I have to catch up on the Super Nintendo, so that'll definitely probably just go into a pile that one day I'll try. And then they also have cool items like this. They had so many different strategy guides, so many different things. So much stuff was like $1 or less. So here we have the Sim theme park. So I love these like roller coaster games. I love these theme parks. I love the wackiness, the craziness. And this just definitely brings back a lot of memories for me because I played this so much and I wish I had this strategy guide back in the day to go ahead and play it. So this is really cool, and I'll definitely have to see if I can find it one day, play through it over again, and maybe actually use this. But this is super nostalgic for me, so to pick it up for $1, you cannot beat that. So overall, I just had so much fun going through all the different deals, the different items that they have, and every single time that I go in there, I see some sort of display, promotional item, something that I would love to have in my collection, or something that I had no idea even existed. So if you guys are ever in this particular area in Maryland, you have to check out Play Raven because they have some of the greatest deals, some of the coolest items, and I'll always have a blast there. So I want to know which games you enjoyed from this video and which item you might have picked up. So of course, thank you guys for watching. Make sure you like and subscribe. Go ahead and check out all of my other videos and stay tuned for more.